So can you guys see the slide?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here you can see the course code CSE 104, and the title of this course is Fundamental of Computers and Applications Lab. CSE 103, that is the theoretical course, but CSE 104 is the lab course. And as I already mentioned, today basically we have course orientation class. Now we already know that we are in summer 2020. Again, they are basically mentioning here course code and course title, but here you can see the credit hour. So this is 1 credit hour course, but we have 2 classes in a week. Okay, and today is the day. Today we have 2 consecutive hours class, 2 hours consecutive. So, and here again you will get my contact details. You already know what is my contact details, especially my email address and phone number. Then course objective. Now we should know about the course objective. What is the course objective of CSE 104? So the first objective they are basically mentioned here: to develop skills in web browsing and searching on the internet. That means at first we are going to learn what is web browser, what is the importance of web browser, and basic user interface of web browser. As well as we are going to learn about how we can use search engine to search something in the internet. Okay, especially we are going to learn about how we can do advanced search in Google search engine. Then second objective they mentioned: to develop skills in writing and sending formal email. That means how we can create email account and what is the manner we have to follow when we send or receive formal email. Then the third objective, to develop skills in operating computer, performing data and word processing functions using popular applications like MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So this point is very important. We are going to learn how to use this Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint. Microsoft Office Word, Microsoft Office Excel, and Microsoft Office PowerPoint. This is very important because in your university, whenever your teacher will give you any assignment, or if you want to submit an application on that time, you have to basically compose that application, or compose that assignment, or compose that report. That's why you should know how to use Microsoft Office Word. Then Excel, okay, it basically help us to do different types of calculation. We can apply different types of formula. Okay, we can show different types of statistical analysis by using pie chart, bar chart, line chart, or different types of graphical representation we can show over there. Then Microsoft Office PowerPoint. Suppose now I'm giving presentation in front of you. So in your university, time to time, you have to give number of presentation in different courses. So you should know how to make a PowerPoint presentation. What are the rules and regulations we have to follow? So this course is not only important for your university, but also when you will be in your job life, okay, job sector. On that time, it will give you number of advantages. Okay, because everywhere in job sector you will get computerized system, and you have to work with Microsoft Office Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. So on that time it will help you a lot. Okay, and here the textbook name written. So the textbook, basically the previous one, which basically we saw in the CSE 103, the same book here. Basically inside that book we have 2 parts. One part is theory, another part is lab. Okay, first part is theory and second part is lab. Okay, so again I'm going to provide you, if possible, I'm going to provide you the soft copy, okay, of the book. Then consultation hour. Again, if you have any problem regarding any topic, okay, if you need more clarification, if you have any personal problem, then you can contact with me during the consultation hour. And you can see the time and the date given here. And as you are from section H, so this is your schedule, I mean a class routine for CSE 104, Monday 12 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. Though it is mentioned here computer lab 3, but as it is virtual class, so there is no meaning of this computer lab 3. What basically we have in total 6 computer lab in our labs in our IUBAT. Okay, in total 6 computer labs we have. When our physical class will start, then you can use those lab. Okay, that is the thing. That's why they mentioned here computer lab 3. Okay, all right. Did you ever visit IUBAT campus? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Only mine. No one else.
No, sir. Sanjida has also gone there
Yes, sir.
several times. She told that.
Okay, all right. Okay. So that means you have some idea about the campus. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Now the evaluation process, the course evaluation process. So how I'm going to evaluate you guys. So this one is different from the CSE 103. Here you can see 10% mark I'm going to count on your assignment and viva. Then attendance 20% mark, lab or project report 25% mark. So you have to submit a lab report. Inside the lab report you have to complete in total maybe 14 to 15 experiment. Okay, then at the end of the semester you have to submit the lab report. On that lab report you have 25% mark. Then final examination you have 45% mark. So here you have to understand one thing. In the lab there is no first term examination, there is no midterm examination, no first mid, no second mid. Directly you are going to sit for the final examination. And here another thing, on your attendance you have huge amount of mark. Can you see that? 20% mark. So if you miss a single class, then you are going to miss a good amount of mark. So be careful about this attendance. Okay, so this is your mark distribution. Next, some general policies are given here. So you guys are already familiar. In your CSE 103 course, I already explained all of them. Dress and behavior code, language code, other things you already know. Assignment, quiz, test. Okay, lecture plan. Okay, so let me show you the lecture plan. I'm sharing another document with you. Can you guys see the Word document? I'm showing a Word document to you. Can you guys see the Word document?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here you can see basically lecture wise breakdown. Okay, in one lab class we have 2 hours. So here you are seeing the lab hour and then material covered. Okay, so in which lab class which topic we are going to cover. Here we have the list. Okay, day wise breakdown. Okay, or hour wise breakdown given. So this is the thing. All right. Then what else? Consultation hour we already discussed. Contact information we already discussed. Then summary. Okay, so that's all about this course outline. Okay, so so far do you have any question regarding this course outline?
No, sir.
Any information you would like to know about this course? No. Okay, all right. And if you go through this course outline, then you will get some portion like this. Okay, you need not to understand this point. Okay, Let me share the document first. You will get some point like this. Okay, so you need not to go through this one. This is for me basically. This is actually Bloom's taxonomy. Nowadays, basically, we are very much concerned about outcome-based education. So this is the part of outcome-based education. We are basically following Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so this part you need not to go through. Okay. Okay, and the thing is that I already uploaded these materials on my
Google Classroom.
Right, Google Classroom. Let me show my Google Classroom to you. Though you already, many of you already add for there. Okay, let me share my screen again. So can you guys see my web browser?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In your same classroom, you will get basically two parts. One is for CSE 103. Upper portion is for CSE 103, and lower portion here we have CSE 104. So if you click course lecture, then you will get the course lecture. I already uploaded the first lecture. Okay, then if you click lesson plan, then you will get the lesson plan. Okay, and I also basically mentioned that before join the next class, please go through the lesson plan. At least you will get some idea what topic
Yes.
we're going to cover in our next class. Okay, and then you will get course outline. Okay, which we already see. This is the course outline. Okay, soft copy of the course outline. Okay, and one by one I'm going to upload other course material like your lab report format. Okay, then if it is possible, then ebook. Okay, that is the thing. So one by one we are going to upload. I'm going to upload all the lectures here. Okay. And today we had another class on CSE 103, and today we discuss about what lecture number 2.
Basic
Right,
hardware.
basic hardware, lecture number 2. So I already uploaded the lecture, okay, on the basis of your request. Here is the chapter 2, basic hardware. Okay, my PowerPoint presentation as well as the chapter also uploaded here. Okay, basic hardware.
Okay, sir.
So now you can go through this one. Okay, so that's all about the Google Classroom. So I can see here only 10 of you are available out of 12. So I would like to know, is there anyone left to join here? Is there anyone left to join here, or all of you join? Okay, I guess.
No, sir, we have a classmate named Trisha.
Trisha. Okay, Trisha is not here.
And one of them is Shimu.
Shimo.
We haven't find her yet.
Shimu and Trisha. Let me mark them. Shimu and.
We find Trisha, but we don't know. Maybe she has some problem. She couldn't join the class earlier also.
But
We
Shimu
provide
is
them the routine.
Is it only for my course or other courses as well?
Other courses
Other
as
courses.
well.
Okay, all right. Then I have to talk with them immediately. Okay. Okay, thank you for your information, Trisha and Shimu. Right. Okay, then all of you are here. Okay. So this is the thing. And again, if I need to upload any material, any announcement, if I need to give, I'm going to give those announcement in your Facebook group. Okay, CSE 103 and CSE 104 section H. Okay, that Facebook group I'm going to give the thing. Okay, I'm going to give the link of my recorded video or other announcement if needed. Then I'm going to provide everything there. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
And guys,
Yes, sir.
I mean, you have to practice one thing, that is in a regular basis you should check your email. Okay, at least you should,
Okay,
what you
sir.
can do, you can open your notification, email notification on your device. Okay, mobile phone or laptop or desktop, you can open your notification, email notification. Okay, on that time, if anyone send any email, then you can easily understand that, okay, I got an email, I have to go through it. Okay, right. So do it. Okay, then okay, so this is the basically introductory part of this chapter. Now I would like to discuss about the first lecture. I'm sharing my slide with you again. So can you guys see the PowerPoint slide?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so before we start our discussion, I would like to know how many of you have computer, desktop or laptop? All of you have desktop or laptop?
Yes, sir, I have.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Desktop.
Sanjita, you have desktop or laptop?
Desktop, sir.
Desktop you have. Then Redmi, again Redmi. What is your name, Redmi? Hello? Shithila. Okay, do you have laptop or desktop at your home?
No, sir.
Shithila? No. Okay, all right. Then Rezwana Tasnim?
Sir, desktop.
Desktop, okay. Then Israt Jahan?
Desktop.
Desktop. Then Israt A Bari? Disha, okay. Do you have desktop or laptop?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Then Hafiz?
No, sir.
Okay, then Mim?
No, sir.
Mahin?
Sir, laptop.
Okay. Then another Redmi we have here. Who are you? Another Redmi. What is your name? Unmute your microphone, please. Unmute your microphone. You have to unmute your microphone. Okay, let me unmute it. Now speak. Huh? What is your name?
Trisha.
Trisha. Okay. Okay, Trisha is here. Now Trisha is here. Okay, we got Trisha. Trisha, do you have laptop or desktop at your home?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, without a laptop or desktop, it is very tough to basically, perform this lab work. Okay, computer
Yes, sir.
fundamental lab work. So, what we can do now? You are going to purchase one laptop or desktop, or you are going to manage one manage one desktop or laptop. Those who do not have laptop, what is your planning? Those who do not have any laptop or desktop.
Laptop.
No, I'm telling that as you do not have any laptop or desktop now, what you are going to do? You are going to purchase one, or you are going to manage one. Because without laptop, it will be tough to perform this lab work, CSE fundamental lab work, because you have to work with Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Excel, or Word. Okay, then how you're going to submit your assignment, or how you're going to prepare your like lab report and other things. So this is my strong recommendation. Please purchase, or if it is not possible now, please manage one laptop or desktop as soon as possible. Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise it will be very tough, okay, to work with this CSE 104. Okay. And nowadays for a university student, laptop or desktop is very essential thing. Okay, because time to time you have to prepare number of assignment, time to time you have to prepare number of PowerPoint presentation. Okay. And one thing, if you are in Dhaka, okay, if you are available around Uttara or our university, then you can access university lab. Okay, university lab
Okay.
you can access. Okay, if you are around Uttara. Okay, that is it. Okay, so try to manage one laptop or desktop as soon as possible. All right.
Okay, sir.
And next time when you join in this lab class, especially in this lab class, please join with your laptop or desktop. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, I might give you some task, and I might tell you that please share your screen and show me how to perform this task. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
on that time, we need this laptop or desktop. In mobile phone, you will not be able to perform the task in a flexible way. Okay. So that's why I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
Is that okay with all of you?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now we can move to our lecture. Okay. So here you can see our first lecture, and the first lecture is web browser. So do you have any idea what is web browser? Anyone? Any idea? Anyone? What is
Sorry,
web browser?
any website
While
or
we search
software
for anything.
which we use for searching.
Okay, all right. Then any different opinion, any other idea, different concept do you have regarding web browser? Any different idea, different opinion? What is web browser? Actually, what is it? Is it hardware or software? What do you think?
The software.
Definitely, this one is software. First of all, this web browser is
Software.
a software. And now the question is, what is the main use of this software? Like think about Microsoft Office Word. We use Microsoft Office Word to compose something. We use Microsoft Office
Yes.
Excel to do some calculation.
Google.
Calculation.
Okay, so what is the main use of this web browser?
So presenting, traveling. So presenting, traveling.
Present?
Are you asking about any particular web browser?
No.
Or
I'm telling that in general.
Totally.
In general,
Sir.
what is the use of web browser? Why we use web browser? Why you guys use web browser?
So we basically use for searching purposes.
Okay,
To
searching.
know anything by searching.
Okay, all right. So that's why I'm asking basically by using this web browser, we basically surfing on the internet, isn't it? We basically search different web pages, isn't it? Okay. So mainly we use web browser to access different contents from the World Wide Web, isn't it? In the World Wide Web, we have number of information available. Many informations are available. Okay. So I would like to get a specific information. So I need a web browser. Through web browser, I can fetch, I can access any content from the World Wide Web. Okay.
Web.
Is it clear to you why we use web browser? All right.
Yes, sir.
Then basically here you will get these things. Inside this lecture, we're going to learn about functional units of computer, basic components of the computer, different types of computer, what is web browser, history of the web browser, basic user interface of web browser, how to use web browser, and at last I'm going to give you some home tasks. So let's start with this functional unit, of a computer. Okay. So here you can see the functional units of this computer. In this diagram, you can see here. right. All right. So here, at first, let me mark it down. So here at first, what we have in this first part, this is the first part, we have some input and output devices. Okay. And if you follow this arrow symbol, by using this input device, what we can do, we can, as a user, we can give input, isn't it? By user, we can give input. Okay. Let me write it down. Okay, by using this input device, what we can do, we can give input any instruction to our computer. So can anyone tell me some input device name through which device we can give input? Anyone?
The keyboard,
All right, keyboard,
CPU,
mouse. Keyboard, mouse, these are actually what? Input device.
input.
Then
devices.
our inputted data, basically we send to this memory storage device, RAM, hard disk. Okay, RAM or hard disk. RAM is called basically primary memory storage device. Okay, and this hard disk is called basically what? Secondary memory storage device.
Memory
So
storage
in our
device.
theoretical course, in our second chapter, we will discuss about this RAM and hard disk. Okay, but here for now, just learn both of them are memory storage device. So when I am giving some input, I have to save it temporarily inside the RAM or permanently inside the hard disk. Is it clear to you? Okay, without this memory, you cannot, without saving those data, inputted data inside the memory, you will not be able to do any task, you will not be able to perform any task. That is the thing. Okay, so this is the memory. RAM is called primary memory and hard disk is called secondary memory. And then we send those data or information from the memory to arithmetic and logical unit. Okay, so memory to microprocessor. Here is your microprocessor. Okay, and your microprocessor, it has two parts. One is arithmetic and logical unit, another one is control unit.
Control.
So arithmetic and logical unit basically perform all kind of arithmetical calculation or logical calculation, logical decision basically taken by this part. Okay. On the other hand, control part basically manage all of your hardware. It basically control all of your hardware and some activity of other application software. The main task is basically control resource allocation. Okay, so everything basically controlled by this control part. Okay, CPU has two parts. One is arithmetic logical unit, and the one is control unit. Okay, so after processing this data, what it will do? It will processor send this data to your output device. Okay, output device. Can you give me an example of output device? Which device is called output device? Today we learn about one.
So monitor, projector.
Right, computer monitor or computer
and
projector.
Projector.
All right, then we can say printer. Printer is one kind of output device. And according to your need, if you want, okay, I would like to store my output, okay, in my memory. So again, you have to send those data here. Okay, according to your need. If you think that, okay, I'm going to store it for my future use, you can store data or information inside this hard disk even. Is it clear to you? How basically this my computer basically work? Let me explain again. As a user, suppose I am giving two number, 2 and 2. Okay, and I'm sending this two number inside the RAM. Okay, my 2 and 2 is here. Okay, and now I'm giving instruction that I need the addition. Okay, addition result of these two number. Okay, so which part will perform this task? Arithmetical and logical unit perform this task. Okay, to store this memory. Okay, which memory space needed? Okay, then which hardware will perform this task or which capacitor will perform this task? everything basically managed by this control unit. Okay, but this arithmetic and logical unit at this number, suppose after the calculation it basically find out the result is 4, then what it will do, it will send the result to this output device. Okay, so by using our monitor we can get the output. Okay, and according to our need, if I want, I can store this output inside my hard disk. Okay, is that clear to you, the basic function?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any problem, anyone, any question? If you have, then you can raise your question. Here basically we have many technical things. I basically avoid all the technical things. Okay, I basically mention the basic functions. Okay, so that you can easily understand. Okay, all right. If you do not have any question, then we can move to the next part. So basic components of computer. So here you can see what type of monitor this one is. Can anyone tell me? What type of
Sir,
monitor this one is?
CRT.
Good, CRT. Very good. So today we learn about the CRT monitor. Very good. And what is this? This device?
Yes, sir.
What is this?
Casein.
This is casing, sir.
Casing.
System.
System unit. Okay. Or computer chassis. Okay, we can call it in different names.
Yes, sir. Name.
And speed is the output device. Motor is the output device. Okay. And here we have two speakers. You can see two speakers we have. Speakers also input device or output device. Speaker.
Output.
Output device. All right. And then here we have keyboard, and here we have mouse.
Mouse.
So what type of device these are?
Input device.
Good, input device. Okay, all right. So now you have idea about the thing, like by using this keyboard, okay, and by using this mouse, we can give input, and we basically send those inputted data inside this. Basically inside this casing we have a CPU, isn't it? Okay, to CPU.
Yes.
And CPU has two parts. One is arithmetical and logical unit, another one is control unit. So if you want to perform
Nice control.
so if you want to perform any, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to perform any arithmetical or logical task, that task basically performed by arithmetical and logical unit, and control unit basically control all the hardwares and some functionality of application software. After processing your inputted data, what it will do, it will show those data through your monitor. Okay, through your monitor. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for an example, now I am giving input my voice through which device?
The speaker.
Right,
Microphone.
computer speaker.
Yeah.
Microphone.
My microphone, isn't it? Right, microphone. Microphone is the correct answer. Okay, by using microphone. Here you can see the picture of microphone. Okay, here is the
Yes, sir.
microphone.
Yes, sir.
By using microphone, I am giving input. And what input I am giving? I am giving input my voice. But in this case, my CPU basically need not to process it. Okay, those CPU basically handling many tasks. Okay, and you guys are hearing my voice. By using which device? By using your computer or mobile phone speaker, isn't it? So ultimately, speaker is the output device and
Yes,
microphone is the input device.
Input device.
Okay, all right. If you do not have any question, then we can move to the next slide. Okay. Now, what is this?
Casein.
Casing,
CPU.
right? Not CPU. Okay. As a, graduation level student, if you tell that this is CPU, okay, this is
It is
CPU.
also written here.
What are written here? Okay, basic components.
So like
guys.
inside CPU.
Okay, so if I write it down, then I make mistake. I make a very big mistake. Okay, I basically Still, pardon for me, pardon for this mistake. Okay, that is the thing. This is
It's
not actually
okay.
CPU. This is actually what? This
So
is
we
cassette.
also heard about
Okay.
CPU always.
Right,
That's why
right.
we are
From our
used to it.
childhood, basically, we are learning this
Yes.
thing. This box is called CPU. But what is the
Yes,
main,
sir.
full form of CPU? Central Processing Unit.
Processing
Isn't
unit.
it?
Neat.
So is this box is the central processing unit? This is not central processing
No.
unit. We have a chip,
Sir.
microchip we have, isn't it? Microprocessor we have. That is called basically what? Central processing unit. Okay.
Processing
This
unit.
box is called basically what? Computer chassis, computer chassis. Okay.
Chassis.
Right.
Chassis.
So be careful about it next time, and I'm going to make it correct. No problem. And inside this casing, you can find out number of components, isn't it? Number of hardwares we have inside this computer casing. So first of all, if you let me change my color. Okay. First of all, here you can see the power supply unit. Okay. This is the power supply unit. Okay. So again, in our hardware chapter, we are going to learn about detailed information about this power supply unit. Just for now, it basically convert power, because from the wall socket we are getting what is the amount of volt
Power.
we are getting from the wall socket? Do you know? From the wall socket, usually, what is the amount of power, electricity we are getting? How many volt? In your physics class, maybe physics course, intermediate physics course, you basically learn about this thing. 220 volt, isn't it?
220.
20
Yes, sir.
volt. Okay, from the wall socket you are getting. But inside this computer device, you have some component which need only 5 volt. Okay, so if you supply them 220 volt, okay, instead of 5 volt, then what will happen? They will burn, isn't it? Okay, they will destroy. So that's why we need a converter. Okay, this power supply unit basically supply power to different components according to their need. Not more than that, not less than that.
Less than that.
Is it clear to you? What is the use of power supply unit? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then second thing, here we have they're basically mentioning cooling fan. Can you see the cooling fan? Okay.
Yes,
Here we
sir.
have one fan. Okay, cooling fan.
Fan.
So what is the use of this cooling fan? So that you can make it cool when
So
you
to
work with the
reduce.
computer. Huh?
No.
Then what is the
No,
use of the
sir.
cooling fan?
Sometimes the CPU, the casein heated very much, so the cooling fan
It produces a heat.
to
Which
reduce heat,
component produce it?
power
Which component
supply.
produce it?
So power supply unit.
No, power supply unit, it will not produce it. If you open your computer casing, okay, and if you touch the power supply unit,
Central.
it will not, it will not basically, you will not get find it hot or warm. Okay, so it will not provide heat, produce heat. Which component basically produce it? Tell me.
The
Do you guys have any
central
idea?
processing unit.
Right, CPU or microprocessor. Okay, you have a chip, that microprocessor basically generate a lots of heat. Okay,
Heat.
so if you just touch that, okay, after 5 minutes running off your computer, okay, then your hand will burn. Okay, so that much heat generate. That's why we use thermal gel on that CPU. Okay, and after that, over that we use a heat sink, and over that we use this what? Cooling fan.
Cooling fan.
Is it clear to you? Under this
Cooling
cooling fan,
fan.
what we have? We have heat sink. I will show you what is heat sink. I will show you, no problem.
Sink.
Then under heat sink, what we have? Thermal gel. Okay, thermal gel basically help us to reduce the heat. And under that we have your microprocessor or CPU, central processing unit. Is that clear to you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then here you have RAM slot. Oh, not RAM slot. Okay. Yes. Here you have your RAM slot. Okay. You can see I'm marking it. Okay. So in this slot you can place your RAM. RAM is called what? Primary memory. Okay. RAM is called primary
Yes,
memory.
sir.
Okay. Why it is called primary memory? Okay. What are the characteristics it has? Okay. We're going to discuss everything in our theory course. Okay. Hardware chapter. Not here. But for now, just remember this is your what? RAM slot. Here we can place RAM. Then you can see here what is the name of this portion? Can you remember? In our theory course we discussed today. What is the name of this portion? Here we can see some rack. Okay. What is the name of this portion? Drive base. Okay.
Base.
This is called drive base.
Drive base.
So here you can insert your CD. They're mentioning here. You can insert your CD. Okay. You can insert some other cards. Okay. You can insert some internal base given here. You can insert here hard drive. Okay. I mean hard disk. Okay. Different types of component you can place it. Okay. Place here. Okay. In an organized manner. This is basically work as a shelf. Okay. Shelf. Okay. That is the thing. Rack. Okay. In the rack we can keep our goods in an organized manner. So same way in this drive bay we can store our hardwares in an organized manner. Okay.
Organized manner.
Is it clear to you? Drive base. Don't forget. The name is drive base.
Drive
Drive
base.
base.
Right. Then we have some other expansion slots. Okay. Here we have some other expansion slot. You can see this white. Okay. This yellow. Okay. Here you will get some other expansion slot. So these slots we basically use for TV card, then sound card, graphics card. Okay. For those card to add those card we use this expansion slot. Some other things also we have on the motherboard, like we have capacitor. So this tablet shape, these things are basically what? Capacitor. Then other IC we have, number of ICs we have. Then we have, this is actually CMOS battery. Can you see the battery here? I'm marking this one. Okay. This is the CMOS battery. Okay. So
Battery.
if CMOS battery, if this CMOS battery become out of order, then your computer time will automatically change. Okay. You will not get proper time in your computer. Okay. It has other functionality as well. This is the important one. Okay. CMOS battery. Okay. Right. So is it clear to you what we have, mainly what we have inside this computer casing? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Maybe in your next class I'm going to show you the real components. Okay. You will get more clear idea. Okay. So and in this part you will get some some port like SATA port, PATA port, then USB port, then your Ethernet connection cable port. Okay. So many ports you have here. And in the front side you will get a number of USB port, again audio in, audio out, different types of port you will get. Okay. That is the thing. So I think now you have some idea what we have inside this computer casing. So far, any question
Yes,
do
sir.
you have? Any question, anyone? No question.
No, sir.
So I would like to know one thing. Did you ever open your computer casing? Anyone?
No, sir.
No,
I
sir.
didn't open it, but my brother did, and I was
Oh,
there. I saw
okay.
it.
Okay, all right. Okay. Then this picture is maybe familiar to you. You have some idea what I'm showing.
Yes, sir. I didn't know the name then, but now I'm
Okay.
knowing this.
So after completing the hardware course, hardware chapter, okay, you will get much more clear idea, okay, about these components. Okay, let me move forward. We have different types of computer. Okay, So you already familiar with these variations. We have desktop, we have laptop, we have
Laptop,
server, we have
server,
tablet. Okay,
cabinet.
these 4 types of computer we have. You already know their characteristics, their advantages and disadvantages. Okay, right. Okay. Now come to the point, what is web browser? Though I already mentioned, here you will get the formal definition. So can anyone read the formal definition? Please read the formal
Yes, sir.
definition, please.
A web browser or internet browser is a software application for retrieving, presenting, and transferring information resources on the World Wide Web.
Okay, so what do you understand, Mahin, by reading this sentence?
Actually, it is a software from where we can search or present or getting information from the main web, which is World Wide Web. From that part, we can take information by using these web browsers, which is not World Wide Web.
All right, okay. So right, so at first here some points are very important. Thank you, Mahin. So this web browser or internet browser, you can call it in different name. What is the different name here? Internet browser. Okay, and what is this? This is nothing but software. Okay, more specifically, this one is software application. Basically, we have 2 types of software. One is system software and the one is application software. In our 3rd chapter, you will learn this thing. Okay, what is system software and what is application software? Okay, so web browser is one kind of application software. Okay, and why we need this software, or what is the use of this software? We can retrieve, we can present, we can
and
traverse information resources on the World Wide Web. That means you can fetch, okay, you can display, you can show, okay, you can do online surfing, okay, through this web browser. If you want to connect with your World Wide Web, then definitely you need this web browser. Can anyone tell me, I mean, is it without browser, is it possible to access any content from the internet? Like without web browser, opening your web browser, you can log into your Facebook account. Is it possible?
No, sir.
Now some of you might think that, okay, sir, we have built-in application in my mobile phone, smartphone. I can just click on it, okay, click over it, then it will give me my home page. But that is basically that code basically given over there. Okay, that also one kind of web browser, and that browser basically help you to go only Facebook account. Okay, not even other account. That is the thing. But that is actually one kind of browser as well.
Browser.
Right. So some popular web browser name you can see here: Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, then Microsoft Internet Explorer, then Apple Safari, Opera Mini. Apple Safari basically a Macintosh computer. Okay, Apple computer. And Opera Mini, this one is basically mobile based. Okay, mobile based operating system. But Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, you can use this Mozilla Firefox. Most of the cases we use in our desktop or laptop. Like Chrome, you can find out both in laptop and desktop and as well as mobile phone.
Smartphone.
Right, smartphone. And this Microsoft Internet Explorer, this is the free version with Windows. Okay, Windows operating system. And nowadays they have the upgraded one. Okay, they basically change this one in a huge manner. Okay, and now basically nowadays I'm basically using the upgraded version of Microsoft Internet Explorer. Okay, though previously the interface was not that much good, and the old version did not basically provide lots of facility. But nowadays they have the good one. Okay, right. So these are the things. So the question you might get: what is web browser? Give 1 or 2 example of web browser. Mention 1 or 2 name of the web browser. Okay, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Any questions so far regarding
No, sir.
web browser? All right. So next point, who developed it and when? Okay, two questions: who developed it and when? Because of this web browser, now we can basically easily access all the content from the World Wide Web. Okay, we can access content from the World Wide Web. Okay, so this one is very much very important invention. Okay, very important invention for the new age. Okay, for the current age. So we should know who basically developed this software and why. What is the reason behind it? So you can see the name here, Tim Berners-Lee.
Berners-Lee.
Tim Berners-Lee, he basically developed this software. Okay, he's the inventor of this software. Okay, in the year of 1990.
90.
And they basically released, or he basically released the first version in the year of 1990.
1991.
Right. So Tim Berners-Lee, remember the name, is the founder of this software or developer of this software. Okay. So now the reason why he developed this software. So again, can anyone please help me? So read this question. What question interviewer basically asking? Why did you invent the www? That means why you basically invent this concept www, or why you basically invent this software web browser, and what answer given by him? Can anyone read it again? What answer he is
Yes,
giving
sir.
here, please?
Well, I found it frustrating that in those days there was different information on different computers, but you had to log on to different computers to get at it. Also, sometimes you had to learn a different program on each computer, said Tim Berners-Lee.
Now, can you tell me what you understand by reading this paragraph, small paragraph?
I have to read once more.
Yeah,
I have
please,
to
please take
understand
your
it.
time. Take your time. No problem. Take your time. You can read it twice. No problem.
Sir, on the past tense, they had to log on to different computers to find someone, something. So he found it very frustrating that this is very frustrating to work on this computer to that computer. So he gathered it all together on this World Wide Web named www. So the work can reduce.
Okay, very good. So yes, you are correct. So as Sanjita mentioned previously, the resources, okay, available inside the computer, those resources were not shareable resource. Those resources were not shareable resource. Okay. So what you have to do, suppose in my laptop, I have a movie. Okay. I have a movie stored in my laptop. So suppose Sanjita, she wants to get this movie from me. So there was only one option. She comes to me with a pen drive, and by using the pen drive, she can copy the movie from my laptop, and she can see the movie at her desktop or laptop. Okay. But now what I can do, I can share my resource, isn't it? I can share,
Yes,
I can send, I can basically upload this in, I can upload the file inside the Google Drive, then I can share the link, isn't it? Okay. Previously
Yes,
it
sir.
was not possible. Okay. So that was the problem, and Tim Berners-Lee solved this problem basically. Okay. That's why he basically invented this www. Now all computers are interlinked. All computers are interlinked. Okay. They can share their resources. Okay. That is the thing. So this is the main concept they are basically asking here. So if Tim Berners-Lee basically if there was no www, or this web browser, then we will not be able to use any
Internet.
web browser like
Any browsers.
not actually we cannot use any social media software like Facebook,
Social media.
YouTube, or other things. Okay, because Facebook, whatever the information Facebook has, it basically stored inside the Facebook computer. Okay, but I would like to access those content from my computer. So if there is no web browser, if there is no www, then it is not possible to access those content. Okay, that is the thing. So that's why Tim Berners-Lee developed this software. The software is basically what? Web browser. So I think you have some idea now who basically developed the web browser, when and why. Okay, all right. Now the next thing I'm going to discuss, that is basic user interface of web browser. So do you have any idea what does it mean, user interface? User interface means actually what? Anyone? Any idea? User interface.
No, sir.
Sometimes we call that, okay, this user interface is very user friendly. This user interface is not that much user friendly. Okay, but what does it mean, user interface? Okay, all right, let me help you. So we already know that software, we can easily understand that software no physical existence, isn't it? Okay, you will not find out any physical existence of a software. Then how we can work with this software? How we can work with this software? We have to give instruction to the software by using graphical user interface. Okay, graphical user interface. So Microsoft Office PowerPoint is one kind of software, and on the screen, whatever the things you are seeing, this is the graphical user interface of Microsoft Office PowerPoint. So you understand what is basically user interface? User interface means simply through which we can communicate with the software, through which we can give input to the software, through which we can get output from the software. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, user interface. Okay, through which we can communicate with the software. Now I would like to discuss about this basic user interface of web browser. Okay, let me share my document with you. Okay. Can you guys see my browser?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So here in this web browser, what is the name of the web browser, by the way?
Firefox.
Okay, right. Mozilla Firefox. Okay.
Firefox.
Mozilla Firefox.
Firefox.
So in this web browser, okay, in this web browser, at first, can anyone tell me what is this called? Okay. Can you see my mouse pointer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the name of this portion of this web browser?
Search bar.
Search bar. It's written here new tab. Okay. And another,
Okay, sir.
it's written here channel videos, YouTube Studio, like that. Okay. So these are called basically tab. T-A-B. Tab.
B.
Okay. Right. So like if I click here, if I click over there, this plus symbol, then it will create another tab for me. Okay. If I click another, if I click again on plus, then again it will create another tab for
Another
me.
tab.
So in this way, you can create new tab. And there is a cross button, cross option. if you click
Close
it,
the
then it will close tab, right? It will
tab.
close the tab.
tab.
So in this way, you can add new tab or you can close new tab. Okay, right, right. So then the whole thing is called basically one window. One window. Okay, window means what? In Bengali, janala, isn't it? Okay. The whole thing is actually what? This is a window. I am basically showing you this window. Okay, and these are basically called tab. Okay, this is one tab. This is another tab. You can see. All right. So now here in the top right side, okay, here you will get minus symbol. What is this? What it will do?
Minimize.
Right, minimize. If I click,
Minimize the window.
right, if I click, then it will minimize my window. Okay, that is the
Window.
thing. Just a minute. It will minimize my window. Okay, and when I minimize my what this window, then it will be stored temporarily on the taskbar. Can you see my taskbar? Maybe not. Let me share it.
No, sir.
Let me share it. Now I think you can see the taskbar. Can you see the taskbar here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So this is called actually what? Taskbar.
Taskbar.
Usually you find out this taskbar here. Okay. Horizontally. Okay. Horizontally you will get the taskbar. So for my use, I basically change the position. I basically make it vertical. Okay. So usually you will get horizontal. Okay. In this portion. Okay. Right. So I minimize the web browser, and here is it. Okay. Can you see the web browser here? Okay. If I minimize
Yes,
it,
sir.
then it will be available on the taskbar. This is called taskbar. Okay, right. Okay. And here we can maximize or we can resize the window size. So if I click here, then can you see that the size of this window change? Okay, we can make it short, we can make it long. Okay, we can make it small, we can make it big. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, all right. And again, if I click, now this is called full screen. This is called full
Full
screen.
screen.
And the last option, cross button, here we have. So if I click on this cross, then
It will close the
close
window.
the window. Very good. It will close the window. Right. So this is the first layer. Now come to the next layer. So here you can see one arrow symbol. Okay. Here you can see another arrow symbol.
Yes, sir.
So this is basically go back, and this is basically go forward. Okay.
Forward.
So suppose here this one is okay. So if I click, then it will take me the previous page. Okay, right. Suppose if I click here, it is taking me the previous page. If I click again this one, it will basically go forward. It will take me go forward.
Forward.
All right. Then here we have refresh button or reload button. Okay. So if you click here, then the content, whatever you have here, automatically it will reload. Okay. It will give refresh. If I click here, it will refresh everything. Okay. Let me show it. Okay. If I click here, then automatically you can see here it is taking reload. Okay, reload. Okay, sometimes we need to refresh our page. On that time it will work. Then here we have a home tab. Okay, home page. If you want to go to Mozilla Firefox home page, then you can click here. It will take you to the home page. Okay, all right. Then we have beside this home page, here we have, what is this? What is this called?
Searching bar.
Searching bar, right?
Search bar.
Search bar. Okay, all right. So here we can write down our desired website link. Okay, if I want to visit Facebook, I can write down www.facebook.com. If I want to visit Google, www.google.com. If I want to visit YouTube, youtube.com. In this way, which website you would like to visit, you can write down that URL, okay, and then it will take you, your browser will take you on that website. Okay. All right. Then here we have the searching option. You can do Google search from here as well. Okay. Then here we have the library. Okay. So here, I mean, your recent visited pages. Okay, which page you recently visited by using your web browser, you can go through. Okay, the list here. Then you can see your download list. Okay, which document you downloaded. Okay, then you can see the history. Okay, previous week, previous month. Okay, in which web pages you basically visited. Okay, you can see the bookmark. Bookmark means basically what? If you think that, okay, so this web page information is important to me, then I can mark it, okay, for my future access, for my future use. So that is called basically what? Bookmark. Okay, that is the thing. That means I am temporarily saving the page, web page. Okay, this is the important function here we have. Then right here the bookmark option is available, right? Okay, then here your account, Firefox account. So if you click here, then if you sign in to this Firefox account, then it will display your picture, name, and other information, other details. Okay, and even you can give the, you can log into your browser. Okay, sometimes what happen, if we use our personal computer, that means personal laptop, desktop, or personal mobile phone, on that time we basically never sign out from our different accounts, isn't it? After using Facebook, how many
Yes,
of
sir.
you sign out from your personal account, personal device? Okay, actually I'm not doing that. Okay, all of the accounts are open. So if anyone somehow got my device, he or she can easily get my I mean admin access to different accounts, isn't it? Okay, to restrict this one, we also, what we can do, we also give password in this web browser. That means if anyone open the web browser, at first he need to or she need to give the password. Okay, without login, your Firefox will not work in your device. Okay, that is the thing. And then here we have a list of options. Again, many options we already saw in different part. Okay, like how we can sign into the Firefox. Okay, then here you can see the private privacy protection settings. Okay, you can open new window from here. Some shortcut key also given here, Control N. If you press Control N, it will open a new window, not new tab, new window. Okay,
Window.
right. Okay, and the new private window you can open. Okay, you can zoom in and zoom out. If I zoom out, then can you see that? Okay, I can zoom in. This is the zoom in. Okay, zoom in and zoom out we can do here. Then you can do cut, copy, paste option here available. Library function, library is also available here. Some add-ons, if you want, you can add. Okay, there are many options that are available. If you want to print any web page, you can print it from here. Okay, that is the, right. So these are the things we have here. Okay, and here also some settings option we have. Okay, you can change your language, you can change the background color, you can change the theme. Okay, many things you can change from here. Okay, all right. Okay, what else? Okay, I guess that's all about this basic things about this web browser. Okay, but if you open Google Chrome, then you will not get the same interface. You will get different interface. If you open like Explorer, Internet Explorer, okay, Microsoft Explorer, then you will get a different interface. Let me open another browser. Okay, I'm opening another browser. Can you guys see this browser?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, and here you see different interface, isn't it? This is Explorer, okay, Internet Explorer, okay, another web browser. So here the interface is different, okay. So I think now you understand, okay. So what is web browser and what is the basic user interface of web browser and how to use web browser. Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
Is it
sir.
okay?
Right.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Let me go back to my slide again.